coach that would tell me, Emma, every day you're either going to get a little bit better or a little bit worse. If I were a swimmer, I would know if I was swimming a little bit faster or slower day by day. If I played basketball, I would be able to track my shooting percentage over time. But as a boxer, there's no way for me to measure if I'm getting a little bit better or a little bit worse. As a team, we decided to tackle this problem for boxers everywhere. This is Coach. Coach is a sophisticated punching bag that structures workouts, provides instantaneous feedback, and tracks your progress over time.
This is Sunflower, a portable infant warmer for the developing world. Each year, more than 1 million premature newborns die. Over 80% of these deaths could have been prevented with access to simple care, mainly warmth. We've partnered with Design That Matters to develop an adaptable infant warmer that is compatible with their existing Firefly phototherapy device, which uses blue light to treat jaundice in newborns. Our target customers are non-government organizations that donate these to hospitals.
Centered around the functionality of the electromagnetic force generation. So with this sketch model, we hope to answer how stable and how powerful this system can be. Using a simple cardboard setup, we tested a few different scenarios with solenoids. In this scenario, with the air core solenoid and the steel ball, even with 50 watts, we saw only a negligible force. And based on some initial user studies, we wanted to target a 1 Newton force. With the steel core, however, we did see a noticeable force. But we also noted that the steel ball is always attracted to the solenoid. So if we wanted a bidirectional force that pushes and pulls, we'd have to use a permanent magnet. Removing the cardboard wall, we generated a force of 2 newtons. And so we were able to generate a stable force, and we correlated this to a mathematical model. So we're confident with better magnetic materials that we will be able to generate a far more efficient system.
Our sketch model deals with 4 different ways of centering the pot on a burner and gathering user feedback from blindfolded subjects to see how well each of these mechanisms works. So I'll present the 4 mechanisms that we used. First, this is the kinematic coupling. There are 3 ball bearings on the bottom of the pot, which will attach into 3 grooves on this piece, which will be permanently attached to the burner. This is the circular groove. The bottom of the pot has a circular groove in it, which will be attached to this piece, which will be permanently attached to the burner. This is the cradle cover. This is a platform that just will be permanently resting over top of the burner, and one can take a pot and rest it on the platform as you need, and then find the hole to center the pot. The clamping claw mechanism starts like this, and as you put the pot in, the clamps will tip up and center the pot and clamp it in place. As I said, we did user trials for each of these 4 mechanisms with blindfolded subjects and timed how long it took them to center the pot and how frustrated they were in using this mechanism. So the kinematic coupling, nobody succeeded in centering, and they were very frustrated. The circular groove took about 15 seconds to center on average, and people were mildly frustrated. The cover took about 2 seconds for people to center the pot, and they're pretty happy. The claw took about 3 seconds for people to center, and they were a little bit frustrated with the whole mechanism, but that was mostly due to the friction in our foam sketch model, which would be solved in the real device. So we learned that from user feedback that you need confirmation to know when the pot is centered. Some people would think the pot's centered, and it wasn't. And we also learned that you need directional guidance. So if you thought you were trying to center the pot and it wasn't centered, you need to know which direction to move as opposed to just getting worse. So these are things we'll consider in our next model, and we'll also move on to deal with issues for blind cooking that aren't just centering the pot.
the same benefits that real animals. So what's in the market today for that? Then we met Pero. Pero is this cute, fluffy, a baby seal that can respond to touch, sound. It can even learn his own name, but it costs $6,000. On the other hand, we then have things like Furby. I know Furby, but still. We kept one Furby. We completely destroyed to understand what's inside of one. And the thing is, we realized actually they are not in a particular way. Furby can do the same things that Pero does. Then we start to analyze the cost and complexity and see what else were in the market, and we realized there's this huge gap. And here is where I want to present WeRobot, our affordable therapeutic robot.
Currently on the market, there are many trays, but then none of them can be fit on any wheelchair. It can be removed and be a table for 2 people.
We have done market research and have found several products with similar purpose, but when we compare them with this benchmarking matrix, we see that Vibratoons outperform them considering functionality and cost.
So we looked at products that are out there and in 3 different price ranges. Now, the 2 cheapest products out there both submerge the eggs, which allow bacteria to pass through the shell. So we obviously don't want to do this. Basically, there's no existing product that's inexpensive and high quality, and we think that the Happy Egg washer can fill this gap.
Our primary target market is the 10,000 plus cavers in the National Speleological Society. After we expand beyond that market, we can extend to climbers as well as arborists.
And these boots are commonly used in equestrian sports. It's a $1.9 billion industry, and there are 9.2 million horses in the United States alone. 40% of these horses are racing horses or show horses, and they typically use these boots that we've integrated our sensor into.
But my question left is there a market? So this is Boston. These are Boston's French restaurants. French restaurants are the ones most likely to be selling tourné cut potatoes and other vegetables. This is the United States. This is the United States' 20 largest cities, and between them, they have over 20,000 French restaurants. And we haven't even gotten to Quebec or France or anywhere else that would probably have French restaurants.